All right. Fancy you there?
I am here.
I believe we are ready to start finally. That was really weird. But this is DD number 97, and this is our first round matchup. And this first round matchup is between Marshmallows and Church of Faker Senpai.
Oh, praise be Faker Senpai.
Mm-hmm.
He is nowhere near as good as Helix, but he's up there. Praise Helix. But anyway, we are getting started with these bands here. Chat bands being Teemo, Vi, Kassadin, and LeBlanc, all pretty common bands. And then for the first in-game ban, we are going to have Yasuo.
Yasuo has been seeing quite a few bans recently. I think people are reevaluating their initial opinion of him as not being all that great on Dominion.
Yeah, it was really funny when he first came out. Everyone was like, oh, Yasuo's so bad. He's such a terrible champion. And I was sitting there the whole time like, he has a skill cap. Give him time. Once people get there, it'll be amazing. And yeah, now he's turned into a ticking time bomb. Some would argue worse than Kassadin.
He did get beat pretty badly the last finals, I will say that. He can be shut down.
That is also after his nerfs, I believe. His flow doesn't stack nearly as fast as it used to. So that is a big, big problem. And then Riven ban coming out for the other side. I think they just probably don't want to go against Riven. I don't know any of these players from previous tournaments, so I don't know if one of them is an expert Riven player. Don't normally see that ban unless you have a Talith on the team. And then, of course, Kha'Zix coming out, him being one of the strongest champions on the map right now, so very good ban there.
Taking a while to do these bans. A lot of times in the initial round, you'll see people just go really fast.
And then, Dr. Mundo being banned out. Also a pretty good pick. He does have that really, really strong cleaver damage, and that regen just makes him incredibly difficult to kill. He becomes that big tanky front line, and if the enemy team has a lot of hard engage, Mundo is a very, very good pick for that.
Amumu is another champion that's seen a lot of play recently after, initially, basically until the healing aura went away, he wasn't considered to be all that great. But as we said from before, the healing aura did not affect his ultimate, so it was interesting to see him get a whole lot of play. The defensive masteries have really helped him out.
Yeah, I really think it was those mastery changes that went through, because the defensive masteries are just so strong. They really gave him that big buff that he needed. And Rengar being banned out, it's a very interesting ban we don't see too often as well. Ever since the nerfs to all the sweeper and the Grez, you think he would be picked up quite a bit more, though, because that was his big shutdown, was stealthing through the jungle and running through all the sweeper spam and being able to get seen. And then Jack's ban coming out, really strong bot laner. Sauron has taken many games and simply carried them on his back with him. So pretty good to get that out of the way, too.
Indeed, and the first pick we have here is an Amumu. Amumu's a pretty strong tanky champion. He's got that nice ultimate which locks down people. He hasn't been seeing all that much play recently. It might be because Leona's serves almost the same purpose and has become a lot more popular than him.
Yeah, Mumu still does, I think, one of the highest amounts of damage for tanks, because he can get that, kind of half tank, half AP build and still output just a lot. And he can 1v1 a lot of champions faster than Leona in that sense, too. But yeah, you are right, with Leona being kind of the godsend of tanks right now, her extra team damage, her amazing lockdown, and still a good ability to 1v1 things.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her Zenith Blade, which is essentially Amumu's Q, although not quite as good because it doesn't have the extra sun at the end. And then she basically has Amumu's ultimate at range, so...
Yeah, very good for getting out those catches. And looks like an Ezreal and a Volibear. Volibear, that's someone else I'm surprised we don't see more of, because once the healing aura was gone, I thought that would give him a decent buff. But, I still think he could be a really good champ in some situations. We just don't see him all that much.
Well, but again, his passive wasn't affected by it because it's a regen.
That's right.
Regen
it's
effect,
regen.
So he's not going to be all that much better. I'm surprised we didn't see him just because I would think people would think he'd be better. But Volibear's an interesting champion. He's got the charge at an enemy, throw him over his shoulder and back into his enemy team, but he also has to be extremely tanky because he's got to be able to survive going in and grabbing someone and pulling them out.
Yeah, he is very, very susceptible to that kite. And you can see here they do have the Karma and Jayce being picked up. Jayce being very, very strong. When he goes for that Infinity Edge and W combo, that Hypercharge, doing that blat, 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 and nuking people down. And a good pickup with the Karma, able to keep teammates safe, having that shield, having good long-range poke and slows for that kiting.
And then on the other side, we have a Nidalee and a Gragas, so basically put two of the best pokers in the game on that team along with Ezreal, so they're going to have a lot of poke, assuming... Well, we don't know who's going to be bot lane or not, but they're still going to have quite a bit of poke. Nidalee's one of the best champions in the game still. Just that long-range nuke from her spear that she can do and nobody can see it coming until it's in their vision, and a lot of times it's too late. And then sometimes it's also invisible, which is fun. And then we have Gragas, he's still a very good champion pick. He did have a little bit of a change to the way he plays, the way his E was changed recently, but still got that nice AoE displacement and nice poke with his barrel.
Yep, and then coming back out for blue team here, we do have the Lee Sin and Katarina pickup. Katarina being really, really good when you have a good amount of AoE damage on the team, able to just blow up and start resetting through everyone. And then Lee Sin, I'm guessing, is going to be the bot lane, because, I mean, Lee Sin is a fairly strong bot lane, but they do also have the Jayce+Karma who can go bot as well. But again, if Lee Sin is top, that's another shield for top lane, and when you have the Karma shield and the Lee Sin shield, things get really, really hard to kill.
Yeah, and you can see that Katarina being protected very well from that. It also allows her a little more mobility with Lee Sin's mobility to blink to him if they're both top, and then of course Karma would probably be bot lane. And a Darius pickup to end the team for purple team.
Yeah, and Darius actually... Poor Darius. He was one of my all-time favorite champions, and Riot decided to gut his ultimate and add on that the 12 seconds that you have to ult. Actually, it's 20 now, which is a little bit better, but it just kind of... It really put him in a place where he fell off, and he used to be a pretty big pick or ban, and then he just completely vanished.
Now, basically, you have to wait for your ultimate in a team fight. On Dominion, as long as you're in a team fight, it's okay, because you're probably going to be able to use it as much as you want in those 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It does have quite a long cooldown, though. So he has to choose when and if he uses it. We do see 4 revives on blue team and none on purple team, so it'll be interesting to see when that happens. Katarina did not take it, which is interesting to see 4 and not 5. Most of the time, if there's 4, there is 5.
Yeah, that is a little odd there, but...
She's an assassin, maybe she wanted the flash and the ignite for extra killing power and decided to forego revive.
Yeah, get the gap closed with extra flash so you can shoot bow onto your next target, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean...
It's interesting, the one person on purple team that, well, besides Ezreal, that I would have expected to have flash would have been Volibear, because he doesn't have a way of getting behind enemy lines if there's tanks in the way.
Yeah, and getting to those squishies. He's going to be running into, the Karma Kite. If Lee Sin is top, there's going to be a cripple hitting him on the way. There's a mummy sitting in front of him, and it's going to be really hard to get to that back line.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, they got 2 squishy champions. Gragas is somewhat squishy. He's got his W, which helps him be a little more tanky than most other ones. There's also 2 garrisons on purple team. Just for that reason alone, I would expect Gragas or possibly Volibear. That would be kind of a surprise to be bot lane.
Yeah, I could see the Gragas going bot lane, but having that garrison will forego his ability to be aggressive in lane. He's not going to have that kill potential. Like, say, if Lee Sin were bot lane with that ignite, he's going to have to try to play really passively and wait for ganks. But having that garrison does allow him to save his tower in the event that he's out of position and does manage to get back if someone's backcapping him. Same with Volibear top. If they can get back up to a tower, they can garrison and keep it safe for a little bit longer.
The thing with Gragas, though, if he has that ignite bot lane, there's practically nobody that can duel him at level 3 and 4. If he wants to go all in on them, Lee Sin is actually one of them that can, so that might not have helped. But there's very few champions that can just take him if he goes all in at level 3 or 4, as long as he has that ignite to help him out.
Yeah, because once he hits you with that body slam, that slow is just so strong. And then you get hit with the barrel, and his auto attacks following up, and it's just really, really hard to deal with.
That's why a lot of Gragas players, just a little trick, they'll go put 2 ranks into Q and 1 into E, which the barrel is the Q and the body slam is the E, and ignore his W until at least level 4, possibly even level 5, so that they have that initial burst of all in, and they can get some surprise kills that way. People don't expect them to be hitting that hard that early.
That is pretty good, because you could force an early revive in that lane, and that is quite a summoner to lose that early in the game.
What were these teams' names again?
Marshmallows and Faker Senpai.
I trust you gave them to me in the correct order there.
Yes. Pretty sure I did. I really hope I did.
Three flashes on blue team, so that'd be interesting, and then 4 on purple team, so lots of flashes in this game.
Yeah, we're going to see quite a few flash plays. Yeah, it's very easy to pick out, not to like pick on them, but it's very easy to pick out who Summoner's Rift players are, because they have this tendency to just not want to let go of flash. Like, they just feel that they have to have it. And even though they are bringing Revive along, which is the meta in Dominion, normally you see the Revive take the place of Flash, and then your second summoner is a combat summoner like Ignite or Exhaust, or sometimes you'll even see a Clairvoyance in there.
Right, it is difficult to transition for that reason, because you lose a combat summoner from Revive, and then if you'd also take Flash, you don't have any. You do see it sometimes on AD carries, you'll see a Revive Flash pickup, but a lot of times Flash is just ignored.
Yeah, if you really need the positioning, or if the enemy team has a lot of dive and you're something like an AD carry, which is very difficult to play in Dominion in the first place, you'll want that flash or maybe even cleanse to be able to get out of those very bad situations. All right, and we are just about loaded into this game here. Round 1, it is going to be Marshmallows versus Church of Faker Senpai. I believe I got the full name right. But we all know that Helix is our true Lord and Savior. Praise be unto him.
Fortunately, I don't watch SR, so I do happen to know who Faker is. So.
Helix it's from Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh, and my game just vanished.
Well, we'll let you try to fix that. So
reconnecting.
We shall see. On the left side here on the blue team, if fancy information is correct, we have Marshmallows. And we have Peach Purin playing Amumu. We have, oh dear, Ha'ar playing Jayce. We're going to have to think of a better name for it than that. Nozomu Itoshiki playing Karma. And if my Japanese is up to date, I tried to figure out what that meant. And then we have I Am Doughboy playing Lee Sin, and Clever West is on Katarina. And it does look like Lee Sin is going to be heading bot lane. On the right side, we have the Church of Faker Senpai, and Friday Legend will be on Ezreal. Moon Instinct is on Darius. Bucky Larson is on Nidalee. Directional Pad is on Volibear, and Pepsi Legend is on Gragas, and Pepsi Legend looks like he is heading bot lane.
Alright, and I am in the game now, so yes, it does look like Gragas is going to be bot lane. Looking at the starting items, we do have a double Giant's Belt start coming out from Faker Senpai on both of their tanks there, so that will be pretty interesting. Over on the other side, Karma is starting with these items. Okay. Katarina.
Findish Codex and an Amplifying Tome. Katarina's got, that's not too bad of a start actually, because Prospector's Ring doesn't cover at all, so you gotta figure out what to start with her. She does grab the mill, or the refinery, I never remember what that point is called. Which, the fact that she has no boots means she's might be a little late up to the fight, but she's gonna get there in time to deal with it, so.
Alright. Now, Marshmallows really doesn't want to play this poke game. They do have Jayce and Karma, but
Oh!
Nidalee+Spear
Ow!
and Ezreal Qs are going to hurt a little bit more there.
Oh, and there goes the Karma right off the bat.
Beautiful,
She's
beautiful.
not immediately using her revive. There it goes.
Yeah, she did get that revive up, so she will be back up, but I don't know if it's going to matter. They did swimmingly take that point. That was amazing. Very nicely done by Faker Senpai.
Yeah, pretty solid win there. Moon was waiting in the bushes for them to come find him.
Oh, and he is going to get that
Volibear.
catch on the Volibear. They are going to try to nuke him down. The Karma Q coming out. The Volibear regen is just too much. He is going to be able to get out of there alive.
Darius is going to go down. But the healing pot might save him there for a minute. Katarina's looking for those resets, but the flash is not going to save her from the ignite.
Yeah, she was ignited. If that flash, both summoners burned on her, so she won't have those for a little while. And, Nidalee getting hit by the shock blast, trying to get away there. They really want to go back.
Destroying Gragas here, and he's going to take the entire point. Gragas made the mistake of walking back to his point, which left Lee Sin plenty of time to get it. And a poke war going on up here. Jayce+Karma versus Nidalee and Ezreal.
Yeah, but Jayce+Karma do have the huge minion wave pushing onto the tower. If they don't worry about those minions, the point is going to neutralize.
There he goes. I think Jayce had an opportunity to kill Ezreal there with that E, but Amumu cleans it up.
Yeah,
and then Karma takes Nidalee down.
Very easily be able to take this point back there. Because that point going neutralized is what cost them. If they would have had a tower shooting, they could have probably fended that off.
Katarina using her ultimate there to probably to counteract Volibear's passive, but I think it was probably still down. So yeah. Volibear did run straight into Boots' mobility, so that's interesting pickup.
And then Gragas did lose that bot lane here. Not having that combat summoner really hurting him. And they are going to be able to get this back, and that's why Darius wasn't able to help with that top, is he had to go bot to help him get bot lane back.
I just want to point out, Lisa now is a very good play. A lot of people, when another person comes down to gain or to take the point back, will try to just go in and die, and there was no reason for Lisa to die there, so he just recalled. If you think you're going to win the fight, by all means go in, but otherwise, yeah, don't just go in for the sake of going in.
Yeah, just back out, play it safe, stay alive, keep the gold. Alright, and here comes the poking siege.
Oh my goodness.
He does have that ult, and Ezreal sitting out in front, the worst possible place for him to be. And this is going to be a very easy cleanup here for Marshmallows. Very nicely done. Good catch by that Amumu.
Nidalee picked up a tier second after getting the Prospector's Ring to start. She was making me so proud, and then she picked up the tier.
Yeah, is Zanbot working in chat there? Can we show like why tier is so terrible? I don't know if Zambot is in function today.
I don't know if it is either. It's been having problems. Ezreal ult comes in and nearly takes out a Mundo.
Yeah, by starting tier really quick while... Oh, well, I'll wait till after this fight, because maybe they might be able to clean it up. That Katarina is going to get those resets. The Karma Shield keeping her alive throughout it. Ooh, but the dunk comes down, and we'll be able to clean her up there.
It did a lot of damage, though, and Karma can actually keep poking at this. She's going to back off, though.
The reason you don't want to start tier is you're pretty much giving up your entire early game and saying, okay, eventually I'll have an item that gives me a lot of mana. And if you really need a lot of mana, just go for Athene's. It's just so much better in every way. And very nice play there by Karma, getting that Darius who's low on health.
She started immediately rushed in Morello's, so she can deal with that Volibear and his passive.
Yeah,
she is doing a ton of damage. This is why Karma does not need buffs, please.
Please, we don't need Karma buffs. She is so strong right now.
Nidalee pops down bot lane, but there is nobody there for her to gank. Lee Sin was already gone.
Yep, and Katarina was there for a follow-up gank in the event, and Jayce looks to be heading down here as well.
Yeah, they're neutralized on the mid as well, so they're in full control of the map at the moment.
Yep, they're going to put a lot of pressure on this bot lane here. Looks like Lee and Kat are probably going to try to kill Volley. Are they going to send down reinforcements or try to defend their mid?
Nidalee's coming down here to help out. Ooh, Kat got split up there and takes the Nidalee spear to the back.
And in the meantime, up at mid, they're trying to fend it off, but it is a 3v3, and that is a Jayce with Storm Shield. He is just launching those lightning bolts everywhere and just cleaning it up.
Pretty easy cleanup there, and Karma, again, with Q to finish off. She's going to go back and get something I'm assuming she's got quite a bit of goal with a 3-1-9 score.
Yeah, hopefully
All
she'll
there
pick up
is
those
disagreement with
swords.
Lee Sin, and his regent is going to keep him alive for a little longer, but not quite enough.
Almost alive long enough. And actually,
And minions, I think he's going to get the whole thing, and that's quest too.
the Marshmallows, I don't think I've ever seen these guys before, and they're actually building properly. Looking at the builds here, they've got their pen, they've got their good AD, Lee Sin going for Sanguine Blade, it looks like, maybe even Hydra. Amumu opting for that flat pen and AP because they are so far ahead right now. So very, very nicely done there. Looks like they really did their homework.
5 cap.
Yep, and that is going to be a 5 cap. They're going to hold on to this as long as they can because if you look at those points up at the top, it is just going to be bleeding 5 points every 2 seconds. So even if they all die right here, it is still okay because they're just going to gain such an advantage by having this 5 cap. And they may actually not all die here.
They're not, and they're holding it. That's probably game. They have about 20 seconds to do something. 40 seconds, excuse me.
Yeah, they keep streaming in one at a time. And I think that is pretty much going to be GG.
Karma just sitting there poking at him, forcing him to immediately turn back around and go back into base.
Lee Sin. Oh no, Lee!
She gets shut down. He had a nice stride there, though. And that will be the game.
Yep, that is GG.
Marshmallows will defeat the Church of Faker Senpai.
You know, I learned something the other day when I was playing co-op versus AI on the bots. You know how in co-op, in Summoner's Rift, when you get near a tower, it shows you like the threat range of the tower?
Right.
So when you're on Dominion, it only shows you the threat range of the fountain. And it is very, very, very far off from what we know. It's a good, like, 5 Teemos away from where it should be.
5 Teemos.
Yes, that is the measurement. It's 5 Teemos. So, like, you have an extra 5 Teemos there.
Oh, my.
All
My
right.
screen does not like the in-game for some reason.
Well, looking at damage dealt when Koravel finally gets over to there, it is Karma at the very, very top. She had that good AoE damage coming out. Opted to skip the Prospector's Ring instead for the Morello's Rush. That ended up paying off. She did get, 14,000. Next top was Katarina with 11. But very nicely done by Marshmallows. They managed to take that out pretty cleanly there.
Yes, indeed.
Pretty interesting when Summoner's Rift players do their homework and you see Revive and you see Pen on the builds, and it's very, very... I'm happy to see that. People are actually learning a little bit before they just come and try to jump into the tournament. Who do you think did the best on Faker Senpai? I would have to give it to the Bear. I think the Bear definitely probably did the best there. He was being as tanky as he could. Nidalee going for that tier really, really hurt. You really want to just get that AP, get Athenes, go for your Void Staff or your Blackfire Torch. You really, really, really don't want to go for tier ever on pretty much any champion unless your team comp and team are aware that you are starting tier on a champion. And even then you want something that can hyper carry late game like Ezreal.
Ezreal could have gotten it. Nidalee just doesn't need the mana region. It just hurts your damage too much.
All right, but that was game 1. We will take a look at the brackets and see what game 2 is going to be, and we will be right back with that.
Alrighty.